Welcome to Healing Through Dentistry podcast,
where we redefine health, wellness, and the power of your smile.
We're your hosts,
Hana
and Eva, twin sisters, qualified dentists and medical doctors.
This is more than a dental podcast.
It's a journey into profound connection between oral health and whole body healing.
Through personal stories, inspiring client transformations, and expert insights,
we explore how dentistry can ignite energy, relieve chronic pain, and transform lives.
Get ready to discover the extraordinary ways your smile can heal, inside and out.
Let's begin. Welcome to Healing Through Dentistry podcast. We're your hosts, holistic dentists and twins, Hana and Eva. Let the journey begin. We are so excited, and let us maybe begin with introducing ourselves to you and explaining to you why we decided to do the podcast, Healing Through Dentistry, and what is our journey. I would start with the journey. So, who we are. I'm coming from Šumperk, which is the small town in the Czech Republic, has 30,000 of people. And as a matter of fact, I am coming from the same city because we're twins. And it's funnily enough, we've had so much of our joint path together, and we cannot separate no longer, I feel. And so we are coming from have the same taste of life, that's for sure. We have the same mission, and that's a strong connection. So let's the journey begin. So we were born in Šumperk, which is the Czech Republic, mountain area. We were born to a family of doctors. Our father and our grandfather, they both were gynecologists. So lots of people from Šumperk were born assisted by their hands, which is beautiful. And it was always close to our hearts to, we were growing up experiencing how our mainly dad, because grandfather died when we were 4, but obviously we used to hear about him a lot. But we grew up in an environment of in a medical environment, and we knew our dad, how he worked. He did the night shifts as well, and a lot of people used to say hello to him when, we were walking through the city. But also it was an environment of service and great emotions and gratefulness also. So it did inspire me and Hana to become a doctor. And when we were 18, we were starting thinking what we're going to do. I feel like I wanted to be a dentist since I was 10, which is part of the story. But when we were 18, we were discussing with our father, okay, so perhaps you start with the general medicine, so you don't close the doors to other branches, and then you can decide. Which was back then ever very holistic, right? Because our father may have known already before us, let's skills, if you go to the dental school right away, what you only can do, you can be dentist, and it's very, it can be very narrow. So why don't you practice the general medicine first, and then you decide. Maybe, part of his agenda was, maybe they're just going to take over my that was nice surgery and what I do, and I'm just going to pass over my experience to them. But who knows, our father is no longer here with us, so we cannot ask. But yeah, I'm just laughing in a physical way though. So anyways, but we also discuss, and I really love herbs. And so we also discussed with our father, I discussed that I may like to become a pharmacist. And remember me, Eva, I want to be a physiotherapist. And then he had to say, oh, gee, he kind of had do you want to just sell pills? Yes.
In a shop? You might not want that, Eva.
Are you willing to be a shop assistant?
Yeah, but it's not
I'm making a bit of love of that, but all of these wishes were leading us to become holistic dentists, which is basically all of those we were talking about in one person.
Right?
Yeah,
so I haven't become a physiotherapist also, but maybe it's just already telling you how complex and how holistic we used to think back then, because we were aware of that everything is connected, and we were big sportsmen as well. We used to do a lot of sports. We used to run orienteering running. We used to do athletics. very little, we used to do sport gymnastics. And so we, from little age, we were just kind of aware that we need to have a lot of energy, right? And even when we were little, we were just like kind of, we knew how, the food is important and we need to actually eat in order to have strength. Yeah, but we also, if you're saying that we were sporty, we went to a children's choir, so we were singing for 11 years, which I think I have to touch on that because it really changed our life and the trajectory of what we do and how we do it, because now we're speaking to you in English. It's true. I think what you'd like to say is that we used to travel through Europe with the choir, and that was since we were like maybe 10. And that have opened our eyes in terms of, oh, there is, not only Czech Republic and there are like different countries, but also not only different countries, we used to live in the families. We didn't live in a hotel. So we saw how they, live, what their common practices are, how they behave to each other, what products they use, what they eat, and that all actually what are their habits. So it's the cultures, they attracted us, and I feel it's a part of our story that we started singing in a choir and started seeing the world, because before it was a communist era. So when it was 89, we were 7 and the regime changed, luckily for all of us. And so we experienced also the days, and our parents especially, where when we could not travel, we could not say what we think. And I'm very grateful we can host this podcast for you, because we are here maybe with a new approach of, for some, medicine, and maybe transforming also part of your thinking. But we would like to show you what we have experienced and how everything is interacted and connected. So why did you not become a woman doctor, Eva? Why did you become a dentist? Like, that's... So when I was 10, we changed a school. We could just sign in to a new school, which was a language school, because, everything, the regime broke. So we started having English schools. Before it was just Russian. And so we met a new dentist via our schoolmate, and her mom was a dentist, and we started to visit her. And what was, I think, a pivotal moment, like a big time pivotal moment, was that we switched to this beautiful lady who inspired a lot. But also, it was only like a few weeks after we saw our old dentist. And the old way of seeing kids in the Czech Republic, maybe some of you still remember, maybe some of you still experience it in some countries, was that the whole class, I don't know, 25, 30 kids would go to see one dentist who would then see every single of the people in the class. And which means like she had only limited time, right? So I remember I was there like half a minute, 2 minutes, like a wee while. And I opened my mouth. She said, "Beautiful teeth, next." And so were you told as well, right? But what happened when we went to see our new dentist, our friend's mom, who inspired us for prevention? And I have never heard before that I should be cleaning interdental spaces. So she was very preventative and very good in that. And she, when we came over and saw her, she said, "Oh, Hana, you've got 3 decays, like 3 cavities in your teeth. And Eva, you've got 2." And we're like, "What? How can it be? We've only just seen our old dentist." And she didn't say anything. She said, "We've got lovely teeth. So, like, what's going on?" And I remember till now how, like, a very little girl, I was actually upset and like betrayed almost, and thought like, how is it possible? Anyway, fast forward, like this new dentist showed us what to do, how to look after our mouths, that we don't only have like a brush, there's an interdental, acrylic pens as well. And since that actually, and it's been 30 years already and maybe more, we haven't had an issue since, right? No filling since that time. But that time, there was a time when we have received amalgam fillings, which is an alloy. It's a metal filling, which, thinking back, so we have had this filling for 10 years, I believe. And during the childhood, we were checked on thyroid gland. So It's all, I'm connecting the dots because we were checked on thyroid gland with our children's doctor, and they didn't really find the cause why we have a different levels than the other children.
And many years after, we realized that, of course, we've had an issue with the thyroid gland because this tooth, which was smaller back then, is connected to a thyroid gland, according to traditional Chinese medicine. And because we not that believe, we know that everything is connected in our body, and certain teeth do lie on a path or a meridian. The Chinese medicine call it meridians, where life force or chi or ki flows. And part of that energy was being blocked. And that's why they used to, that's why I now see it. Why our children's doctor used to tap on our thyroid, like was saying, I'm a bit worried about your thyroid gland and we should better do a blood test. And, we're not surprised. The blood then was okay, but again, I've got an explanation, of course, because we were little girls and the immune system was working really well. But she could have probably sensed it, like she sensed the very early stages, right?
Yeah. And it's the way that if you have metal filling in these teeth, the immunity is securing that area and not having the strength to secure the other organs which are aligned on that meridian. So that's one part of why we do what we do in a holistic way, because this is heavy toxic metal amalgam fillings, but also we have a story with fluoride. So I think it goes.
Why do we not recommend fluoride in
And
our
it
office?
goes in our story to the age of 6 years old, when our teeth, they come through and
Adult teeth, right?
the adult teeth, they come through the front teeth and they have white spots. The white spots, we've learned later on, maybe at the university, that they're fluorosis. It's a condition when you have undeveloped structure of the teeth, hypoplastic teeth, and they turn up whitish. But if we had more fluoride, it's because you have bigger income of fluoride. When we had more fluoride, there would be spots, brownish, and they would be brittle. So
the structure of your enamel, which is the first layer of your teeth, is being restructured. And so again, we were kind of not laughing, because it has affected our teeth. Until now, we do have a white spots on our first part of our teeth. But what we do remember, and we were able to track back, was that in even nursery, and it was even like in a regime, in a communist era, and I'm not sure if they still do it, I hope not, but we used to take, and it was mandatory to used to take a fluoride pills.
tablets.
And
we were the good girls, so we were taking them. There were kids, they were not taking them.
We were taking it for the kids who didn't want them, because they said, I don't like them. And we're like, oh, okay, well, if you don't like them, I'm just gonna eat it so you're not in trouble with the teacher. So I remember it till now, Eva.
Yeah.
Plus, I remember it was funny because some kids, they used to put them in plants.
Yeah, plant pots. Yeah.
And I mean, this may be a very good example how the intuition of a small child is very crucial, because these kids probably were not doing it just for the sake of, not taking it, but they were feeling deep down that they shouldn't be taking it because it wouldn't benefit their bodies. So that is interesting.
Well, we can go to symbolism of the teeth as well, because the first molars, which they had decay in our case, they're connected with self-love. So, so other kids probably have more love to themselves and they were putting the tablets in the pots.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's all leading us towards holistic dentistry. And I actually love how the story is super smart, and it's like a big puzzle to us.
Yeah, it was like herbs. We were like into herbs a lot. We were in a nutrition a lot. We came across a person, a dear friend of us, who told us about a low carb, high fat. So we were for many years on the low carb, high fat. We saw how big time it changed our energy levels and our recovery when we did the sports.
I will unwrap this story a little bit because I think it's important for you to know that we have studied 6 years of general medicine and then consequently 3 years of dentistry. And then we decided to go to English-speaking country to work, which was New Zealand. And we were meeting at Alcock, who was in days a president of Dental Council in New Zealand, and he started with dental implants. So he was basically very, very experienced dentist, and we were working for him in New Zealand. And he started having health issues in terms of the doctors told him he needs bypass, but 4 bypasses. And his wife, Jill, said, no, let's do it in a different way. She's
I don't want
our
you to take
big
any
inspiration.
pills. I don't want to, to be long-term kind of linked to the tablets. And she said, let's just like do it in a different way.
Yeah, and they started low carb, high fat diet, and Ed started wearing the t-shirt, the real man eats coconut oil, because the coconut oil is the only substance or molecule which goes through to the brain as a matter of energy. Otherwise, it's just sugar. So he switched the sugar to coconut oil and he changed his lifestyle. And in 6 months, he lost
30 kilos.
30 kilos. And he said he feels like he was 30. His energy levels went up.
His golf handicap improved.
And the blood results came back nice, and yeah, it was beautiful to see the transformation. So
what else was then, just to speed this up, because we can be here like for 3 days.
Yeah, it's our life is long.
Yeah. For me, what was pivotal as well was when then after New Zealand, we went over to work in London, and we ended up being there like 5-6 years. And they, after surgeries, they used to use salt water for mouth rinses. And I was like almost baffled. I was like, do they not have money to buy like a mouthwash? And
is it a system? It's a big country. They have not resources for finance, for chemicals.
And then, I learned that actually through that, like the salt is very alkaline and it's very healing. And on the contrary, like all the chemicals in like traditional conventional mouthwashes are actually very aggressive, and they actually have
lots of side effects.
Yeah, more harm than like good. So that was another thing which was like quite crucial. Then we started our surgery in fast forward our surgery in the Czech Republic, in Brno. We didn't really want to be living in a like mini London being Prague, so we chose a city of Brno, which is the second largest city in the Czech Republic. And I practice here it's gonna be 8 years in 5 days.
Yeah. And we were very surprised that we have lots of international clients. We have not expected that when we started. So we are attracting clients, expat clients who live in the Czech Republic, but we attract clients who deal with chronic diseases and they're looking for answers, and we're optimizing their health, changing their health for better with the information of traditional Chinese medicine, but we also use frequencies. We love Newcomb. We love teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza.
We love using IVs and supplements. But what I would probably add to this, that like it was crucial to start our own business, because then we could have started it in our way, which means that we were, like Eva was just saying, connecting all these almost dots, but the Western and Eastern philosophies. And the traditional Chinese medicine is big for me, because like it tells you that the teeth are not just the teeth, but the teeth are actually connected to a system of kidneys and a bladder. And the healthy kidney actually reflects the healthy teeth.
Bone and teeth.
Bone and teeth, but also not only bone and teeth, but also hair and others. Like we sometimes, it is funny to see. It's quite in a nice way funny to see when our clients are really happy about their hair and nails. But we said, of course, if you address the issue of your kidney and supplementation for your bone and teeth, of course, it's just going to improve your hair and nails. So this was really, really good. What else has happened recently to us, which has probably like put us even in a higher level of perceiving how connected everything is,
that we ourselves have experienced an operation for cavitations are chronic, like a bone diseases. Like usually it is after extractions, like most people have extractions of wisdom teeth, but any extractions in general. But also what we have experienced in our experiences is that this issues were happened after when we didn't have wisdom teeth, but we have the buds, like, you know, the gems for the wisdom teeth. And around that, we developed chronic issues. And through, you know, several like diagnostics, where Eva was almost like shocked when she saw on one of the diagnostic tool that she's like 40% of her energy is being taken by her teeth, something to do with teeth.
60% was
Or 60,
taken,
right?
40, yeah.
And we were both like our jaw like wide open, and we was like, what? How can it be? Like, we're dentists, we haven't had like fillings since we were 10, you know, we had no issues, we were like
We don't
inspiring
have
others.
wisdom teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Anyway, what happened was like a month after that, we've done the operation for this. And what we have experienced was like the next level. I call it mind, body, soul healing. It was really a healing on a mind, body, soul level, because not that my physical issues have disappeared. I used to have diarrhea in the morning, like bowel problems in the morning.
and you thought maybe it's okay, stress level.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the mind is kind of try to find out the answer. But you were fascinated that actually after the surgery it disappeared.
It was gone.
And I loved what you said, Hannah, when you woke up the first day. So you could say the story. You woke up.
I woke and I was almost like, you know, traveling in a time, because I remembered how like energized and vitalized I used to feel when I was little, or maybe like a young child, because the level of energy was just so big. I just like got up and I was like, what can I do? And full of energy. I'm not saying that I used to not get up okay, but it was that kind of a weird feeling. Like it was almost like someone lifted up something from me, and my energy levels and my mood and my confidence and self-worth and all the stuff which we know from Chinese medicine, and the emotions are actually leading to the area of wisdom teeth were there, right? Heart and small intestine, the main organs for the wisdom teeth. And you've had a big thing even on a dental chair.
Yeah, I have sensation during the surgery that, you know, this area of the heart was opening up, like, you know, you would lift a lid. Then the intestine was like bubbly. So I had sensation during the surgery because we have done all 4 wisdom teeth, or the area of wisdom teeth, all 4 cavitation. So each of them I have a certain perception. And I have to explain medically that, you know, you actually see how inflamed tissue is. You see oily, not nice tissue, which is not pink, which is like all colors, like dark,
Like a soft,
purple,
soft bone,
very
right?
mushy.
It's kind of funny because we, you know, we're both dentists, and so we were
Assisting.
like, assisting and seeing each other's procedure, which is very interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that might have been.
You know, there was the last experience which brought us to be even more open about our experience, life experience, and we would love to share with clients, but not only clients who come to see us into our clinic, but also
With the world.
people who are listening, who are looking for answers. They're not feeling well, or for people who are optimizing their health and who are on this mission of having the best life and longest life. So one part of that would be to look in your mouth and see what's there. So we say there's 3 things.
Three interferences which can hold you back in your overall health. And that's like in a very like short sentence, it's the cavitations we were talking about, which happens after extractions of your teeth or undeveloped teeth. Then heavy metals or amalgam fillings, metals in general in your mouth. And the third big box is root canal. So root canal treated teeth, which means if your tooth had a trauma, or if you've had a deep filling or decay or cavity, you might have needed a root canal, but that is blocking, again, energy on your meridian path in your body, and that can influence the rest of the body as well. Your body is with this inflammation in fight and flight mode, is still in stress. So that's what I also recognize on myself. And it's flowing, the bacteria are flowing in your bloodstream, and according to affinity, they would end up where the weakest part of your body is. And according to Chinese medicine, also on that meridians. Yeah, so our mission and our aim with this Healing Through Dentistry podcast is to inspire others who are willing to listen to us with our stories, but our client stories and successful transformations, not only health, but also on different levels as well. We'd like to invite guests as well. So it's going to be sometimes two of us talking about certain topics, but also we'd love to invite experts from other fields like nutritionists, energy healers, biohackers, sportsmen, or anyone who we believe contributing to the kind of whole body well-being. And so we're really excited to start this new chapter. And we're happy it's happening now. It's January 2025. So we would love to share as more as we know. That's right. So take care, and we can't wait to share more, and let's start this journey together.
Thank you for joining us on Healing Through Dentistry podcast. We hope today's conversation has inspired you to see your smile as the gateway to whole body well-being.
To stay connected, visit us on our website or follow us on social media.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit.
Until next time, remember, healing starts with a smile.
Take care,
and we will see you in the next episode.